True or false? Good guys finish last.
What made you not want him?
I thought he was too nice. I thought I would walk all over him.
I don't know what it is. There is this thought out there. I want me a soldier. I want me a hard dude. And those are the worst guys to get because they're not nice to you. And you get a nice guy and you're worried like, I don't want him. Why wouldn't you want a nice guy? I mean, they always say nice guy finish last. That's because women are foolish.
Hey babe, it's that time of month again. If you go to the store, could you please grab me some pads with wings? But make sure they're the ultra heavy ones. Also, I need a sponge to do my makeup for tonight, so can you please grab one of those as well? And then, oh, I forgot, I'm all out of primer. So if you could get me some of that, please. I think that's all. Yeah, thank you, babe.
I mean, I don't know why there was so many girls in the comments complaining. He literally did everything that you told him to do. Like, you can't make a woman happy. That's what I've learned. You can't make a woman happy.
We need to have a seriously honest conversation about a massive double standard in dating right now. So many women expect a man to step up and prove himself right away. They want him to show exactly how he is going to protect her, provide for her, and make her life completely secure. But the second you ask what she is bringing to the table, the room goes quiet. Nobody wants to discuss how she is going to be a true teammate. Nobody wants to talk about how she is going to bring peace, be the healer of the home, or actually stand by his side as a supportive partner. You cannot demand a traditional provider if you are not willing to be a traditional partner. A real relationship will always be a two-way street.
A lot of modern women are probably upset that men are more cautious when they go into relationships now. They don't just jump into anything without thinking through it. And that's what a lot of modern women want you to do. Just do it for the plot. Just go along with the plan.
So you think women would be more attracted to a man in a relationship even if they didn't know that they were in a relationship?
Yeah. A lot of young men have this experience. No women pay attention to them for a long time until they get a girlfriend. Suddenly they're getting validation, romantic validation, and suddenly other women are paying attention to them. And they don't even know what changed. In biology, that's called mate choice copying, when females are more attracted to a male that's valued by other females. If a man has a girlfriend already, he knows, at least there's one woman out there who values me. And he kind of internalizes that validation and then like radiates it outwards, and then other women pay attention to that.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
You can't make a relationship work with someone who thinks that love is just a feeling and it's not a choice, a practice, and a skill as well. Because when someone treats love like a moment instead of a devotion, they avoid the one thing that every relationship requires, which is responsibility for their own patterns. They think that chemistry should carry the entire connection, and it never does. Chemistry can open the door, but emotional maturity is what keeps the relationship alive. Real love is an ongoing choice to stay present. It's the willingness to regulate your nervous system instead of reacting from old wounds. It's the humility to repair when you've slipped into survival patterns. It's the courage to communicate with clarity instead of collapsing or running away and shutting down. Someone who believes that love should always feel easy will sabotage the relationship the moment that discomfort appears.
Modern women are going to have to learn that when you walk into a singles event and there's a room that's half empty, oh man, all of the women's tickets are sold. Room half empty, a room full of women and no men. That's a sign that men have actually checked out and they don't want anything to do with you on any level.
Let's talk about respect and relationships for just a second. When it comes to my man, if you want me to delete someone off of social media, I'm not going to get upset about it. Done. Matter of fact, I'm going to do you one better, and they're now blocked. If you are uncomfortable with something that I've done, then I'm never going to do that again, and I'm sorry. You need help with something? I'll drop whatever I'm doing, and I'll be right there, because your happiness and your peace is my happiness and my peace. If you need to talk or vent about something, give me just a second. Let me turn off my phone, put it down. I'm all ears. It has nothing to do with control or being controlled or manipulated. It has everything to do with respect for the person that you're with. Because I'll tell you right now, I will never choose another person or technology over the one person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. Nothing will put out a flame and ruin a relationship faster than lack of respect. And so long as my man is doing all of those things for me, then I'll be damned if I ever drop the ball and don't give him the same in return.
A lot of men, when they see the state of dating, when they see how modern women act, my God, you can't even go to a baseball game anymore and expect a sporting event and expect for a woman not to cut up. You can't even go to church and expect a woman not to cut up. Modern women, not all women, modern women to cut up.
Being the strong, independent black woman gets tiring. I personally am done with it. I am done trying to do everything myself, trying to prove society that I can get my bag and I can do all bad by myself. I don't want to be Superman. I don't want to wear tights. I want to wear a skirt and heels and just dance. I want to be in my softness. I want to be in my femininity. And I want to be able to ask a man for help and not feel guilty. I think as black women and women of color, we have to step into our femininity. And I had to realize that asking a man for help and a man helping you do things that you are far capable of doing does not take away from your feminine power. It does not take away from your essence. It allows you to bloom. It allows you to blossom in your own energy because you're not running around trying to do everything.
So when I was 17, my parents got divorced, and I guess my dad, lost the divorce.
She explains that her dad had full custody of her. She lived with him full time. He paid for everything. He paid for her college tuition. He actually paid her mom money, and her mom did not pay anything in child support. Years later, when she came back and asked him as an adult what had happened, how did you lose so bad? He said that he couldn't fight her mom because he had to be able to sleep at night. This is one of those situations that a woman would never see this as winning because of the financial aspect. But I bet you anything in this situation, to that man's core, he felt like he won because he had peace and he had his daughter. Tell me I'm wrong.
A lot of these modern women like to mock. They like to degrade, insult, challenge, shame a man, his masculinity, his values. And then they wonder why men are opting out of dating. You don't really like that man. You just like the attention that he gives you.
So newsflash for my ladies who live in Scottsdale. You need to go to Tom's Thumb. It's a gas station, car wash, bar, barbecue, anything a woman needs. So my mom and I started going there a year ago when we would go and get our cars washed. We would sit there and 99% of the time there would be a hot man there getting his car washed with his kids. We just sit there, take it in, appreciate it. But normally, like I said, it's older men who either have kids or are my mom's age. So I just sit there, kind of wing woman her, look out for wedding rings because we don't want that. But today was a different animal. There were probably 6 good-looking men all there within a minute that were my age, 25, 26, 27, 28. I almost got my car washed a second time so I could watch it again. So if you're single in the Scottsdale area, make the trek to Tom's Thumb to get some barbecue and some views.
Once these guys tasted just an inkling, just a small amount of, oh, this is what it feels like to be at peace and not chasing around somebody that don't actually like you, a lot of men are choosing that. So when a man says, I'm not really all into that stuff, that's what a man means by, well, I'm opted out of dating. I don't have time for the BS.
And so many women who had the courage to well, this clearly isn't working and I'm never going to get what matters to me most. Okay. And so we call it laying down the sword, right? Giving up, justifying, diminishing men. And we'd send them home with some conversations to have with the men in their lives. And they'd come back the next day with these stories and tears streaming down their face because in those next instances of being related, they were a completely different person with a completely different intent and stunned by the man that showed up instantly, which is one of the things that I love about the effects of testosterone. And I mean, these days, the conversation about gender can be hazardous, but I have no attachment.
What does a man need to do to get you guys to notice him?
This is all we want. We're very simple. Very simple. We want a man who acts like a man, who's manly, who takes care of things. I don't need you to an alligator with your hands, but I need to feel so feminine around you because you are so masculine that I can turn my brain off because I know you've got it. Yeah. I trust you. I trust your intellect. I trust your character. I trust that I can close my eyes and follow you blindly and I'm going to be happy about where I end up. That's what it's about. We go out. I don't have to use my brain. I don't have to think, you know what I mean? Order the whole thing for us. Take me, plan the thing. You tell me where we're going and we're all set. That's honestly, it's so lost on us. And like, yes, toxic masculinity, that's not good, but we need masculinity. It's really important. And that's what we try to push. And we live in a time of, unfortunate new age feminism and this whole idea that women and men need to be the same and they need to compete. And it's all from the enemy. It's all lies.
To understand, and what you need to understand about men is it's not necessarily that I'm afraid of marriage or commitment. I'm afraid, I'm concerned about what happens when I give you the commitment, when I give you the exclusivity, how you act a fool all of a sudden. But yeah, I mean, honestly, truly, a lot of these modern women are acting a fool well before that. So there's your sign.
I only date marriage material. Not because I'm picky, but because I'm purposeful. I don't date for attention or validation. I date for alignment. And who I entertain impacts my peace, focus, and my future, so I take it serious. Chemistry fades, but character lasts. You know, leadership, consistency, emotional maturity, that's the fruits that I need. And I'm not just about to vibe with a situationship. I'm building towards partnership. I need a man who prays, who leads, who communicates, and treats me like an investment, not entertainment. Don't expect me to pour into what isn't rooted in purpose. I'm not rushing marriage in any way. I'm just intentional about the path. And how you date determines the love that you build. Random energy cannot interrupt divine alignment. Call it picky if you want. The real problem was being available to the wrong people, being nurturing to the wrong people. So I will wait for alignment and not settle for attention. The man that God has for me, he won't debate my standards. He will match them. And when he finds me, he will meet a woman who has already been preparing for the wife she prayed to become.
If a lot of these singles events would really look inward, or these events where men don't show up and look inward and say, you know what, maybe we should start listening to what men are saying about dating in society and modern women, or not even modern women, just their experience. If we'll start listening to it, maybe we can get one or two of them to come back around.
I find it a bit strange that their boyfriend can't find anything in the house, but they can play a video game and find the secret room in the secret chamber with the secret lever with the secret vault to the secret prize.
No, because the secret prize in the secret chamber doesn't move around. And it's funny how this is painted as a guy thing. Literally the other day, I was looking for my pajama shirt. I was wearing a hoodie because it was a little chilly in the house. And I asked my husband where it was, and we're all walking around looking for it. Turns out I was wearing it under my hoodie. And then just this morning, I could not find my mug. I was looking everywhere for it. I looked at my desk like 6 times, and it was right there the whole time. This is not a gender specific thing. I think sometimes we're overwhelmed with everything going on in our lives that we just we struggle with simple things like that. And I know it seems silly, but yeah, something that's just slightly in a different location by a little bit is sometimes hard to find, as silly as that is. Why are we always shaming men for stuff like this? I feel like if men made videos where they're constantly shaming women for every little thing that they did, holy cow, those comment sections would be rough. But it's okay when we're doing it to men, right?
You know, I do see one thing that's funny is I see a lot of these modern women looking for good men, talking about where are all the single men at? Where's the good men? Where's the man that's chivalrous? But then you see these modern women online talking about, I'm about to have a hot girl summer. I'm about to have a city girl summer. Why do you think that a man is going to, be ready to settle down with you if you're looking to be out there in the street?
I will never understand women who say they want to get married when they don't even have a boyfriend. What do you mean you want to get married? You don't even know who you're marrying. Marriage is literally saying, I want to spend the rest of my life with this specific person. So how can you already want it before that person even exists in your life? That just tells me you don't actually want the marriage. You want what marriage represents, the idea of it. It's the same conversation with children. When I was younger, I guess I'll probably have a family one day, but I never sat there thinking I want children. And my dad once said something to me that at the time sounded a bit silly. He said, there comes a point in a woman's life where when she feels safe, she's in love, and the relationship is stable, the maternal instinct naturally comes in. And he was right, because once my relationship with my boyfriend, who is now my husband, became solid, and I knew we'd be together forever, that's when the thought of having kids suddenly made sense. Before that, it just didn't. Because building a family, to me, only makes sense when you actually have the person you're building it with. Otherwise it's a dream based on what you think you should be doing, and you rush it without giving it enough thought of what you actually want.
Everything? I said when I was checking out, the cashier looked at me and he said, so is it just 'cause, or did you get in trouble? And I told him it's actually National Princess Day. And he, kind of chuckled. But the lady behind me gave me this look of like, she really did, like.
This is one of the greenest green flags that I've seen. A man perfectly willing to celebrate a totally made-up holiday because he loves and appreciates his woman. I love when men are looking for any excuse to shower the woman that they love with love, attention, affection. Like the men that always say things like Valentine's Day is a made-up holiday and it's just a ploy by the candy company and the flower company and the chocolate company. Who cares? If you love her, why not buy her some flowers and some chocolates? There's this trend going around where women are naming 7 non-schmexual things that men do that are like turn-ons or that they find sexy or attractive. And to me, a thoughtful man is one of them. The kind of man that's like, I saw this and I thought of you. Or you mentioned this the other day or last week or last month, and when I saw it, I had to pick it up. The kind of man that takes mental note of what you tell him, even if you told him something like weeks ago or months ago. Like, I love that. A man that keeps you in mind. Oh, 10 out of 10.
These modern women are going to continue the same cycle over and over again. I'm going to go to a singles event. So I'm a swear off man. I'm going to tell them don't approach me. And then I'm going to want to be approached. So I'm going to go to a bar. Tired of getting hit on by Chad and Tyrone and pumped and dumped at the bar. So then I'm going to go to a singles event or a church event thinking that I'm going to meet the cream of the crop. And I'm not going to find nobody because the man ain't there. And then I'm going to get online talking about where the man at. And then I'm going to find a good man. And I'm going to fumble him. And you're going to repeat the cycle.
When I am committed, I don't know how to not show up in the most powerful way for my man. Like that whole pullback thing. And my therapist told me, he's like, Sarah, stop acting like a wife to these men that are not showing up as a husband. Yeah. I said, well, what is the difference between a wife and a girlfriend? Because realistically speaking, if the only thing that changes is that we made a commitment under God and that we signed a legal paper, what's the difference?
There are distinct differences.
What would you say those are?
Okay, first of all, for someone else that needs to be taught this. Yes. For a girlfriend, there are boundaries that you need to put in place. Right? Yeah. You're not sharing finances.
Agreed.
As a girlfriend. He doesn't get to dictate. To have an opinion and you get to choose to respect that. Yeah. But he doesn't get to make certain demands.
This is true.
You know? As a girlfriend, am I exclusive yet? If I am, prove it to me.
Right. This is true.
You don't get to have exclusivity without
no commitment.
A plan.
Yes.
Sir, I need to know your plan.
Yes.
Not just a commitment. Okay, how long you think you're going to keep me off the market? Without a plan, right? Without prove it to me. Yeah, I'm from the show me state.
Yes,
okay? And I understand my value.
Yes.
So unless you are coming and you are serious about taking me off the market, I'm still there.
Yeah.
No one tells you this, but when you get engaged, you're not just planning a wedding, but you're redefining your entire relationship and your family. Because when you get engaged, there's this subtle shift that's happening where your partner, your fiance, is becoming your immediate family, and everyone else is now becoming extended family. And if you're an oldest daughter like me, or a people pleaser, this is where stuff starts to get really difficult and uncomfortable. Because in the past, you're used to keeping everyone else happy, but now the priority is your relationship, and with that comes boundaries and like sometimes uncomfortable conversation. With that, there are soft boundaries and there are hard boundaries. Soft boundaries are like you're just politely guiding people without completely shutting them down. I think the best way to do this is to always say, we need to make a decision, as in you and your fiance. So, for example, if someone gives you an opinion on something, you can say, I love that idea, but let me talk to John or whoever your fiance is, and I'll get back to you. Or, we're still figuring that out, let me get back to you when we decide. Or, I don't know, that's not really what we're thinking, but thank you so much for thinking of us. And soft boundaries are for just like little opinions and advice and just things that like aren't really crossing a huge line, but it can still be really, really uncomfortable to do that if you are a people pleaser like me. I'm gonna make a part 2 about hard boundaries.
And one thing about men, they don't care about ruining your life. They'll do that over and over and over again. Do they have no remorse? When does it end?
Okay, I'm gonna say this for real, I'm be serious. But I was just sitting up here laughing, like, at the idea that all these beautiful women and men, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is gender neutral. All these beautiful men and women are literally begging the person that they like to call them back, to return their text messages, to pay attention to them. You're like begging, like literally begging a person to do that. Like, that's crazy. You're literally a bill collector. Hey, this is Desire Carter calling from Single Not Stupid. Just calling to see how you doing, what's going on. Like, that's crazy that we really have to do that. Because my thing is this, if you're genuinely not interested in somebody, answer their call and let them know. Let's make that, normalize that in 2026. If you are genuinely not interested in a person, hello? Hey, what's been going on? Actually, you know what, I want to talk to you. I'm glad you called me, because I've been thinking. Okay? But I want y'all to realize something, like, you're not a bill collector. This is not a credit bureau. You don't have to do all that. And just remember, you're single, not stupid. The moment you feel like you gotta do that, you know what to do. Ciao.
They always be saying they want a traditional woman, like, oh, can you cook? Can you do it? You not a traditional man.
Thank you.
Be a traditional man. Is you even a breadwinner, boo? Sit down.
Anyway, thank you so much for
Can you change your tire? Yeah.
You.
Y'all want traditional women, y'all not traditional men. Period.
Nobody is ever single by a choice. They're single because they can't get what they want. That goes for men and women, okay? Yes, there is a period in early adulthood where people will not be in relationships because they're too busy, exploring other people and whatnot, right? And men might be busy building wealth and doing whatever they're doing. But in the grand scheme of things, if you're 35, 45, 55, whatever, right? And you are saying that you're single by choice, what you really mean is you have not been afforded what it is that you want, okay? Whether the person that you do love or like or would be going for isn't the person that's willing to choose you or accept you, or you keep coming across people that you feel like don't deserve you, so you don't choose them. It really comes down to there's a disconnect between what you want and what you're able to actually get, okay? And even when people make comments like, oh, I'm being celibate for 10 years, 15 years, blah, 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 and, oh, I don't want any man to touch me, like, once you do it for so long, you realize all men are blah, 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 blah. You're really just admitting that you don't get what it is that you want out of life, okay? It's that simple. And the reality is, if you worked on things about yourself a little bit more, everything about your quantum energy would be different and you would be more aligned with the life that you like. Now, of course, people like get divorced, they were in relationships, they get out of those relationships, etc., right? And obviously you will have a period of being single. But if you specifically say you're single by choice, no, you're not. Well, whether indirectly or directly, you are being forced to be single. Meaning if someone you wanted and you could actually get was in your space, all that whole I want to be...
Or even look in your direction. But not only that, so many women have taught men over the years that all men are loyal, so the good men of the world gave up. And it's so funny because women will constantly say that men don't listen, but now that men are listening, y'all are wondering where the good guys are at, why they don't approach you anymore, and why men are just simply not interested. And why would they be interested? They don't know if they're going to be the next subject of all men are trash content on social media. They don't know if they're going to be accused of doing something they didn't do.
Feminine energy is the leader in a relationship and masculine energy is the execution. I don't think that men are giving directions in a relationship. Every relationship I know, every marriage I know, the wife actually decides what to do with the money and the husband does it. The wife is the one to buy what do we need. The husband needs to go get the groceries. So I feel once we are real about leadership is owned by women in relationships, but the execution and the operational part is clearly on the masculine side, then every marriage is going to be happy.
Here y'all are at 45, 50, talking about where the good men at. They were back then 20 years ago. You said he was lame. You said he was boring. You said that you were too lit to be settled down. You were going through your whole phase. Remember that? So, yeah, a lot of y'all have already missed that boat, baby girls. Or should I say baby grandmas? Because a lot of y'all are way too old to be in these type of situations. And then y'all are seeking this advice from women who are still in the streets, who still don't have nothing figured out for herself.
I am absolutely convinced that men don't actually want relationships. Men want their lives as is.
And guess what? You'd be 100% correct in assuming that. Because we're done. We're walking away. You see, we've adopted what women have been preaching for the last 50 years. We don't need women. We can take care of ourselves. There's nothing to be gained by being in a relationship. So after 50 years of hearing that, used against us, now we've adopted it. And all of a sudden you're upset about it. I'm not sure why. We're just simply following your lead. You got what you wanted. Let's enjoy it.
We don't want to be strong. We are tired of you guys looking at, because a man will see a woman be like, oh, you strong like my mom. My mom took care of us. We want you to actually help us. We are tired of being strong. We're tired of just because your mom did it, you think we could do it too. Oh, you be good without me in the household. My mom did it.
The crazy part about hearing that term is the only time I ever heard I'm strong and independent and don't need no man is from out a woman's mouth telling me that. I've never heard no man say, yo, you know what? You're a real strong and independent woman. It's the women who are constantly feeling the need to tell us that. You struggling. Don't play with me. Over there struggling. Over there struggling.
I'm tired, but we extra tired now.
Yeah.
Ladies, I have to say that I agree with some men. We have made it really hard for men to approach us. We have so many double standards, it's actually crazy. Hear me out. You want him to approach you, but when he approaches you, you feel disrespected. Let's unpack that for a second. If a man wants to sleep with you, why are you feeling disrespected? You are now taking past experiences and projecting it onto this man, and he might be a great man. First off, let's acknowledge that there is shame for women. That's the first thing. So if you feel shameful for wanting such a thing, that's yours and you're projecting it onto him. Second thing, if you think that doing that means you're disrespecting yourself, that is a belief that you have. And third, you might just have the belief that if a man wants to sleep with you, he is disrespecting you. But then also if he doesn't hit on you and doesn't court you, you're upset about it. Which is it? Let's unpack it.
So let's talk about how women know who they marrying, still marry them, then 5-10 years later or less, we have to hear you crying about who you marry, even though, ma'am, did you not know who you married, ma'am?
The problem is women get married with the idea that if I change my mind or if I don't like this, I can get a divorce. Women do not marry a man thinking to themselves, I need to really fully accept this man for who he is. And do I think this man can protect, provide, sustain, and be my companion? 95% of the time, you're going to have to acquiesce to him. So women spend so much time dating a man thinking, does he want to marry me? You need to be thinking about, do you really want to marry him? You get so caught up in the season of, oh, I like him, I'm in love with him, I want to marry him. No, ma'am. Are you paying attention to how this man moves? Are you paying attention and playing this out in your minds of, am I going to be able to acquiesce and live in unison and peace with this man until one of us dies?
Where are the girls that are just super laid back and chill?
Where the are the good women at? Where are the nice girls?
I grew up with a lot of good girls. Now there's like none.
Where have all the good girls gone? It's the question that rattled a nation and led to a flurry of other questions. Where have the good girls gone? Why are they missing? And what is the government doing to take action? American men are pleading for answers.
First noticed something was off when I was on the app and couldn't find a girl that didn't care about partying or makeup. All of a sudden I was like, whoa, where are the good girls at? I knew something was wrong, so I immediately called the police.
911, what's your emergency?
Hi, I'm on Hinge trying to find a good girl, but I haven't been able to find anything, and I think something might have happened to them.
Have you tried checking Tinder?
Yeah, nothing.
All right, I have a unit on the way. Just stay on the line with me, okay?
Okay, thank you. I'm just so scared.
We'll keep you updated as the story unfolds. My name is Francine Beluga, and this is Channel 6 News.
Ignoring her? Let me tell you what you're really doing. You're only teaching her how to live without you, my brother. Men often think, oh, she's suffering, she's missing me, she's waiting for me to come back. But here's the hard truth. You're not breaking her down, you're helping her adjust. Now, let me ask you this. If you keep pushing someone away, what do you think they're gonna do? Sit around crying forever? No, man. She's learning how to find her own peace, her own strength. She's realizing she doesn't need to depend on you for her happiness. And that's a lesson that could make her stronger than ever. She's adjusting to life without you, one day at a time. As the saying goes, you don't realize the value of what you had until it's gone. So if you're ignoring her thinking it'll keep her close, think again. Ignoring her is only showing her how to move on, and eventually she will. So don't make that mistake. Treat the ones you love with respect and attention, or one day you'll wake up and realize you taught them how to live without you. If you agree, drop 100, follow, and share this with someone who needs this message.
Men stay single because people disrespect your privacy. And why the Inquisition? You sound, I'm assuming you want to say crazy with those emojis. First of all, I'm not the crazy one. He was the one licking wieners on Craigslist for money, and he had access to my body while he was out there doing God knows what with God knows who. And y'all ain't staying single by choice. It ain't voluntary. We both know that. And when I say men, I'm specifically talking about white men. And it ain't because I ain't been with any other kind of men. I had a week in August 2015 that looked like something out of United Nations up in here. I'm trailing off. Anyways, white men are creepy in my experience, and the more I learn about y'all, the less I trust y'all. I will always find an opportunity to go through that phone, to go through that computer, make sure it's locked the down. And honestly, if the guy locked down, that only makes me want to find out more. Y'all will critters, corpses, children. I'm pretty sure the reason we have so many is because y'all started the critters.
And I ain't gonna lie to you, nobody's ever finna make me feel bad for wanting a nigga that spend that shit, okay? It's a difference between having a nigga that got money and having a nigga that spend that shit. I need a shark, okay? Somebody that overly spends that shit. Never tells me no. I don't even tell myself no. So you think you finna come over here and tell me no? It's not happening. I need an overly loaded spender. Send me your biggest spender. Need that. And y'all are never going to make me feel bad for wanting a nigga that spends that. I feel like I'm very deserving. I work very hard. I take care of all my own already. So if you're going to come around, you for sure going to be spending something. You got to make my life easier, okay? And if I'm not struggling by myself, I'm for sure not going to be struggling with y'all. I can't do with a little. I can't do with a broke. I need a spender. A shark. Preferably, okay? I'm tired of around with Nemo in them. I can't, I literally, I cannot. I have no more tolerance in me for anybody. All that, oh, you gotta wait till Friday. I don't even make myself wait till Friday. What the f are we
we even talking about? I need it now. Thank you. And cut already too, because we ain't doing that.
Why are we acting like being approached is some kind of crime now? Like, relax. If a guy comes up to you and says, hey, I think you're cute, or asks if you're single, that's not harassment. That's a human being trying. And I'm not saying every approach is okay. No, some men are creepy. Some situations are uncomfortable. I get that. But let's be honest for a second. Some of you are turning the most normal interaction into, oh my God, he approached me. I was just sitting there. Okay. And like, what do you want him to do? Send you a calendar invite? If you're not interested, just say no and move on. You don't need to act like you were just attacked. Because you know what it's giving? It's giving ego. Acting like you're above basic human interaction, I don't think that's attractive at all. And men, since you're not off the hook either, if someone rejects you, take it and go. Stop getting bitter. Stop making comments. Stop acting like she missed out. She was just not interested. That's it. Rejection is part of the game. If you can't handle that, don't play. Because this whole dynamic right now is just so weird. One side is overreacting for validation, the other one is taking rejection personally, and both are screaming emotional immaturity. Like, can we bring back normal human behavior? Respectful approach, clear rejection, everyone moves on with their life. That's it. It's not that deep.
From chronically single girly to chronically single girly, I'm gonna alter your brain chemistry. Give me 1 minute. I know that a lot of times when you've been single for many, many years, it can feel like something's wrong with you. Why is everyone bouncing from relationship to relationship? Like, what's the deal with me? You are single by choice. The reason you're single is not because there's not someone out there that would be in a relationship with you. You are single because what you want and the person that you're looking for is so specific, and that is harder to find, and that takes a longer time to find. I was just dating a guy. I thought we were going to get into a relationship, and I was telling my friend about this, being like, can you believe it? I've been single for so long, like I'm probably not going to be single. Which, by the way, me and that guy did not get into a relationship. But my friend was like, yeah, you've been single by choice. And I'm like, you're right, because I'm not just gonna get into any old relationship for the sake of being in a relationship. I just feel this is a very empowering way to look at it. So I don't know who needed to hear this, but maybe it was you.
You know, and another thing that we need to talk about is how modern women's bad attitude, their inconsistency, their up and down, their moodiness really, affects a relationship. The fact that I don't know what I'm going to do, the fact that when I come home, I don't know what's going to happen. That's why you see a lot of men sitting out in the car. I don't know what you're going to say. I don't know what why are you sitting out in the car? Because I'm trying to get a little rest. I don't know what attitude you're going to have today.